for us to create things like Reform, you know, that led to me being on these stages with the blue square and being talking about what we talking about today, racism. Just taking more risk. He took risks with me. I took risks. You know, on the internet, they got me under. I'm just you could Google this stuff on TikTok. They got me like as I'm following Robert Kraft and them. They control me like puppets. This is no such thing. This is a man that cared about me at one of my worstest times where I didn't have as many resources as you think as a rapper. I say taking risks and just being more open. I don't have a religion. I'm from Philadelphia where like 90% of the community is Muslim. My mom is Christian. You know, if I've been in prison a lot of times where 90% of the prison was Muslim, it was my best benefits. I've read the Quran, the Bible, I read a lot of...
Hey, Meek Mill's tired of y'all talking down on him and his love for billionaires, all right? Don't we all love billionaires? Aren't we all just waiting for opportunities to supposedly lose a bet so we could bunny hop on a billionaire's tennis court? Yeah, even you. Don't act like you're above that. Don't act like if you got invited to these parties on a private jet, you wouldn't just go, drop everything to make sure you're around people with $250,000 watches. Now you want to act all holier than thou. You telling me you wouldn't bunny hop with them? Come on. We all say that until cameras come out on camera. I think that's what makes this the worst thing. Meek Mill responds to people criticizing his friendship with Robert Kraft and Michael Rubin. I don't see anything wrong with it in general. I think people should surround themselves with others that are doing better than they are at the time, or at least are doing things that they would want to get into, right? Whether it's owning a team like Robert Kraft owns the Patriots, or owning a billion-dollar company like Michael Rubin and Fanatics, the merchandising company. And they're not just like friends, right? Meek Mill is in a partnership group or in an ownership group that now owns Lids and I think Mitchell and Ness with Michael Rubin. So when we see these little clips of videos, it's kind of unfair. I love the jokes. It is funny. This video right here is crazy, and that's crazy. The problem is there's nobody from his hood, my hood, your hood that could even pull a gun on him to make him bunny hop. No drug dealer, no cartel, no ops, nobody, not in jail. Nobody in the world can make him bunny hop. But once someone has a little bit more money than you, they can force you to do weird things without ever having to like actually physically force you. It's just the implicit threat of getting kicked out of the club, right? When people talk about the door, it's not necessarily this scary amorphous thing, backroom deals and all this, you know, creepy stuff. It could be. I don't know. It could be. But it seems like it's just that implicit, you know, hey, be cool if you want to be part of the club. And the club comes with being a part of ownership deals that gets you to purchase things like Mitchell and Ness and Lids and boost up your net worth and things of that nature. So it's not always necessarily the crazy acts that we, you know, that is associated with when we say these smoke-filled back rooms. I think a lot of times it's just that, hey, just do what we say. And look, hey, do it on camera too. I think when you add the camera, like when it's friends, you don't have to bet money. You could bet push-ups or little things of that nature. Yo, you cook, or you got the next round of shots, or whatever, something, right? It doesn't have to be money. And especially, I can only assume, when you get to a point where everyone's a millionaire, at least, you're definitely not dealing with, oh, what you gonna bet, $1,000, $500? You're not betting that to a billionaire, because your $1,000 and a billionaire's $1,000 are not equivalent, right? So at that point, it would make sense for it to be something else. But bunny hops is crazy. With Lil Baby, it was cutting of his hair. So it seems like the bets are like attempts to emasculate. If they're supposed to be friends, that's not cool. It's one thing if they don't know each other, but if they're supposed to be friends, betting on emasculation is never cool. Especially because the billionaire never loses. We've never seen the billionaire have to cut his hair, had to jump in the pool with all his clothes on, had to bunny hop, have to do anything. The billionaires never lose, and if they do lose, it's never on camera. So when you have all these stories put together, it looks crazy. I don't think none of these people are necessarily bad people. Well, let me say, we don't have evidence that any of these people are necessarily bad people. But what does a billionaire want with these influential young black rappers? Do you think they love Lil Baby and Meek Mill's music so much? Maybe Robert Kraft loves Dreams and Nightmares. Who doesn't love Dreams and Nightmares? That's the thing. If Meek Mill didn't make Dreams and Nightmares, then I would be like, yo, why would he But you know, everyone loves dreams and nightmares, so it makes sense. And once you win a couple championships, dreams and nightmares hits a little different, you know? You used to pray for times like, right? So I could see, even if a 65-year-old billionaire could emotionally connect, when I brought they thought it was rented, he felt that. I'm sure he felt that emotionally and spiritually. Because of the publicity of these parties, I think that's what gets everyone's antennas to go up. Like, this is weird. But there was a time when these parties were going down. You think this is a new thing? Do you really believe these billionaire parties are new? No. It's been a thing since kings and queens, where only the elite, the best court jesters, you know what I'm saying? The top blacksmiths, you know, whatever. Those are the people invited, because that's the circle of influence. And it sounds conspiratorial, and it's not like they have to be there necessarily planning something nefarious, right? But when you have people who are at the top of their industries all buddying together, then there is some type of, again, I don't want to say collusion because it sounds conspiratorial. It's more like they just on the same side. And you got to think, if it's a game going on and all of the rich and famous people are all on the same side, then who's on the other side? Right. I had the same discussion when I was in school. I had a professor who used to be a judge. He used to be a lawyer and a judge, right? A lawyer, then a judge. And he said one time, I remember having a case and being at lunch with the prosecutor and the defense attorney. And I was like, you was at lunch with the prosecutor and the defense attorney? Y'all just chilling? Y'all cool? Nah, y'all supposed to be going against each other. Like, y'all not supposed to be cool. Like, I understand it's supposed to be some type of relationships because y'all work together all the time. That's fair. But y'all not fighting for the same things. You would think everyone's fighting just for the justice of the people. That's not true. Everyone's fighting to keep their winning percentage up at the end of the day. That led me to ask the question, like, hold on. If you guys are on the same team, who's on the other team? That's how it works. If there's one team, there has to be another team. And then it hit me like, oh, if the judge, the DA, and the defense attorneys are all on one team, then everyone else is on the other team. Everyone else is on the other team. If you're not in a little club, then you the ops. And it's not really the ops, right? But if you're just on the other team, you don't have the same vocabulary as them, and that doesn't mean you're not as smart as them. That's definitely not what that means. It's just, that's what it means to be a lawyer, right? You're learning the lawyer language. It's a different, law is a different language than English or Spanish or whatever. That's what you have to learn, how to use that language to manipulate the system that was created by and for lawyers. So in the same way, these billionaire retreats, it's them saying, hey, we're all on the same team. We're all on the same side. Well, who's on the other side? Well, let's not talk about the others. Let's focus on us, you know? Smile for these pictures so that the others can see that we're all in this together. But it's not all. Only the 0.001% of the population is represented in these groups, which is fine. Like, that's not a party where people that don't make millions of dollars should be attending. And I say should because if you are attending there, it's because you're a server or you're an assistant or you're the driver for some of these people, and you don't really want to play in those games, man. You don't have the connections, you don't have the power to play in the game. And that's really the best way to, those parties are for not just quote unquote the powerful, like they're stronger than you, but they have powers in the network, so they can really, so I should really be watching what I'm saying. But it's really just powerful people combining their networks together. Again, not even on some conspiratorial stuff, it's just understanding what it is. It's just true. So if you were invited, comment below if you would go.